Hey guys, down world, MrGrey, Dandalf the Grey. I was not long for this world a few hours ago. I mean bed. I was going to go to bed because I'm tired. But then went into Beardo's live stream just to have a little chat and like I always do. Then I found out that the Warren Occult Museum in the US, as we all know in this community, it was bought by Matt Rife, the comedian, and Elton Castee, and the likes of overnight. They paid, I think, $1 million. Or no, or was it $500,000? I can't remember. It was a lot of money, right? They paid a lot of money for it. And, as we knew that all the top YouTube dude bro ghost hunters would be going there to do their, oh my God, investigations, all that kind of stuff. But I just found out that they announced the price to go investigate there per night. Now, this price is for up to 8 people. But the price is a flat rate. Whether it's one person or 8 people, the price is the same. And it has blown my mind, I must admit. And this just goes back into the whole paranormal tourism, which I've talked about over the years. The price of haunted locations. Now we'll get into the price and what they actually said about in the live stream in a bit. Prices of haunted locations. Now, I do understand that some places, if they pay a lot of money to buy these places, maybe they have to make their money back, or they at least have to cover their overheads. I understand that, right? Because you had Sam and Colby by the Farah School or something. You got Amy's Crypt buying the Cage now in the UK, or bought it, but nothing's been announced about that. And then you had Matt Rife and Elton Castee of Overnight channel by the Old Warren House Museum, or Warren Occult Museum, sorry. Famous place, made famous by Ed and Lorraine Warren over the years. Obviously made massively famous now by the movies, the Conjuring movies, the franchise which came out, which the first film was great, the second one's alright, the third one, they've gone downhill. So, by finding out the price, I cannot believe the cojones of them trying to charge this amount. So we're going to go over it now. Because I'm just astounded myself. The Warren's Occult Museum and House in CC to open to private overnight stays. So in a YouTube, I'm just going to read the article at first and we'll discuss some stuff. In a YouTube live stream from the Monroe House on Friday night, YouTuber Elton Castee, who purchased the Warren's Occult Museum with comedian Matt Rife, announced the next steps of their plan regarding the property. During the 3-hour stream, Castee revealed they have set up a website for bookings of overnight stays at the house. Castee also revealed the password for the protected website. I had a look, I don't know why it's password protected if you watch that stream. I have no idea if it was a members only stream, I don't know, but that's all I know. Right, here's the crux of it. The website notes that reservations to stay at the house will open on Friday, September 5th at 6 p.m. Stays begins on November the 1st with a cost of $2,000. $2,000. That's insane. Divided by 8, that's $250 per person, right? Which, I mean, that's insane as it is. That's a lot of money, but that's pretty much the going rate for a lot of haunted locations. You got 30 East Drive in the UK, which is about 350 quid for, I think, 1 night or 2 nights. I can't remember. You got the Conjuring House in America, which is $1,200. I've already covered that. But, $250 for one person. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Like, even with 30 East Drive, that 350 quid is for, like, up to 3 or 4 people. But $250, I mean, it's an insane amount of money just to go somewhere for a night, to call into the void, and in the hopes that something happened. If legit people go there, I'm going to guess nothing will probably happen. But if the dude bro ghost hunters go there, which is likely going to happen, and has happened already, it's going to be very sensationalized. But $2,000 is insane. But not only that, $2,000 is a flat rate. So if you got one person or you got 8 people going, it doesn't matter. It's still $2,000 if you got 1 to 3 people or up to 8 people. $2,000 is insane to me. But I carry on. All areas of the house will be accessible to overnight guests aside from the museum, which is limited to 4-hour visits. Guests will be given access to the museum from 9:30 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. during their stay, which will be monitored by experienced staff. Now, I'm guessing these experienced staff will be the YouTubers who bought the place. I mean, they might have tour guides there maybe, and as far as experienced staff, maybe as experienced as they know stories about the items in the museum, maybe it means that, I don't know. A toolkit for paranormal investigations, which contains approximately $25,000 in gear, will be available to use, including night vision body cameras, dowsing rods, an EVP recorder, and other devices. Now that is pretty cool. I must admit that part is pretty good, because if somebody wants to go to these places and they only have like a cheap camera will do fine if you ask me, but if you want the top of the range gear, I suppose them supplying it is pretty good. Right, that is pretty good. Night vision cameras, body cameras even, you can pay for buy them yourself. They're a bit more expensive than normal, but at least you can get that in the everyday market. Holy water, bedding, towels, bathroom essentials, drinks and snacks will be provided to guests according to the website. A maximum of 8 people are allowed to stay overnight at the property at a time, while the minimum age to book in an overnight stay is 18. Probably because all the YouTube ghost hunters, to make YouTube videos, you have to be above 18 years old. As far as I'm aware, anyway. I'm pretty sure you do. For most of YouTube, anyway. That's probably why. They can't have, young kids going there to unwrap toys now, can they? That'd be ridiculous. All guests will have their ID checked prior to entering the property and must sign a physical liability waiver according to the website. A spiritual liability waiver will also need to be signed. Protective measures and items will be given to all guests to use at their discretion. Holy water, rosary beads, protective items, prayer cards, and more. Now, whenever I see that kind of thing where, so we'll give you protective items, rosary beads and stuff, or if they're not Catholic? What if they're not Catholics? What happens then? Or if they're Muslims going on a ghost hunt? What do you provide then? I think you need to cater to all people, not just one religion. But I digress, sorry. There's also a spiritual sanctuary, a highly protected and blessed area that can be utilized at any time with additional protective measures there as well. So if you get freaked out, basically, you can go to this little spot in the museum, or the house, whatever. And you're like, oh my God, I'm safe. I'm in this salt circle. I'm making assumptions now, and I shouldn't. The website notes that they are not liable for physical or spiritual afflictions that may occur during your stay or at any point afterwards, which includes but is not limited to scratches, possession, attachments, vomiting, fainting, levitation, sleep paralysis, bruising, black eyes, psychic wounds, nightmares, voices in your head, astral projections, and beyond. That is absolutely bloody insane. Scratches, you can do that by accident, right? Or you can scratch yourself on household items. It happens a lot and they think they've been scratched. It's just they haven't been paying attention. Possession, that's down to the person. Attachments, again, it's down to the person. Vomiting, you could go into any place with the knowledge of a supposed haunting or stories, and you could feel a bit weird. I know it happens. You could have an apprehension about going into a haunted location if you know the history of it, and maybe that could make you vomiting. That definitely happens. Fainting, again, same thing. Now, levitation, no. Where did levitation come into it? In all my years on YouTube, and before YouTube ever existed, I have never heard of a verifiable source of levitating when it comes to haunted locations. We've seen it in movies, of course we have. We've seen it all bloody day in movies. But levitation? Christ, if I levitate in a haunted location, I wouldn't be bloody worried about it. I'd be like, yes, finally something cool's happened. Levitation is the craziest thing I've ever seen in a disclaimer myself. Sleep paralysis. I've had those over the years. Not much, but they're not cool. I must admit they are not cool. Bruising. Probably get your iron checked out. Black eyes. Psychic wounds. Nightmares. Voices in your head. Astral projections. If you have voices in your head, please go see a medical doctor. Don't rely on protective spiritual devices to help you with that. Please go see someone in a medical profession. No live streams or filming for network television will be allowed unless given explicit permission prior to visit, according to the website. Additionally, no sponsored content may be filmed on the property at any time. Filming for personal use in social media is allowed, but must be reviewed and approved by our team to ensure factual accuracy and respectful intent towards the home, museum, and warrens. The thing is, right, what if you want to film something and while you're there you give a bit of a breakdown of the history of the warrens, all that dodgy stuff which has been brought up lately about the warrens? I'm not going to get into it. So if you bring that up, are they going to say no, you can't use that? Is that what we're going to say? Because, respectful intent towards the home. But if it's factual accuracy, that is factual. And it's accurate. So. Reinforced on the website is the fact that this is a private property and that access to the property is only available for booked overnight stays. There will be no tours of the museum or house outside of booking an overnight stay. The website notes that a top-of-the-line fence and 24-hour security system are in place. We are complying with all city and state regulations to ensure the integrity and respect of the property and neighbourhood. The Warrens Occult Museum, which houses a number of allegedly haunted artifacts, such as the Annabelle doll, was sold along the adjoining house to Rife and Cassidy for $1 million this month, according to Monroe Land Records. In an Instagram post, Rife, who called the house and museum the most important and prominent piece of paranormal history in the world, elaborated that he and Cassidy don't legally own the items in the museum but are legal guardians and caretakers of the items. In a phone interview with Chaz and AJ in the morning this month, Cassidy said he and Rife are under contract to open the museum off-site from the house in a commercial property. Cassidy noted that if all goes well, according to the closing schedule, they will be making further announcements around Halloween. They are aiming to open around May next year, Cassidy told the radio program. The house and museum belong to the famous paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren, whose stories are the basis for the Conjuring series of movies. The next movie in the franchise, The Conjuring Last Rites, will open theatres September 5th, which I think is when they'll be opening the taking bookings, I believe. If I'm not incorrect, let me check. The website notes the reservations to stay at the house will open on Friday, September the 5th. I gotta give it to them. Their marketing is bloody spot on. Their marketing is spot on to have bookings and reservations made on the day the movie comes out. I mean, I'm sure they're in it just for the paranormal and scientific research and discovery. I'm sure they're in it for that. Yeah, I'm being a negative Nelly again tonight, but I'm just seeing some stuff. The couple founded the New England Society for Psychic Research, which is now co-directed by their son-in-law Tony Spera and daughter Judy Spera. Spera still own the items in the Warren House Museum collection, including the Annabelle doll. I can only speculate that the reason that Rife and Cassidy don't own the items is maybe they got like a 5-year contract where they don't actually own the building, they just renting it out basically, and they're gonna make enough money, $2,000 a night. They're gonna make all that money back. I think it's a financial investment myself. Just by going on the information provided right there, I think it's a financial investment and nothing else. It's going to get all the big paranormal YouTubers to go there. Some of them have already gone there, exploring with Josh. Elton Cassidy, obviously, they've done the investigations there. They're going to have the twins go there. Other like-minded paranormal investigators, they're probably going to go there. It's going to make a lot of money for a lot of people. It's going to make money for the people who own it. It's going to make money for the people who rent it. It's going to make a ton of money for the YouTubers who are going to have that in the title, The Warren House Museum. What did we find? I nearly died. Hang on, what did the twin paranormal always say? Hang on, let me check. There you go. When they go there, they will have the title, Surviving Our Scariest 48 Hours Ever, Our Scariest Encounter, and The Night the Annabelle Doll Attacked Us. That is my prediction for their titles. But not just them. Other channels are obviously going to go there. But hey, $2,000... I think it's bloody insane myself. Apparently, one of the owners or family members of the people who bought the house were in Jay Cart's live stream the other day justifying it. I haven't watched it, so I don't know what they said in it. I don't know how you can justify $2,000. Like I said, up to 8 people, it's alright, it's $250. Still a lot of money, but it's at least manageable. But that's a flat rate for whether you got one person or 8 people. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but that's what I'm getting from that article, which is insane. This just goes on to my whole entire thing over the last couple of years that paranormal locations, are massively overpriced. People who buy them only do it for the financial investment. As far as I'm concerned, that's the only reason they buy these places. I mean, there might be the odd 1 or 2 people or groups maybe that buy like a location because they genuinely want to try and discover something. But I think the majority of people who buy these places, like Sam and Colby, it's a financial investment. And they know they're going to make a ton of money and get a ton of bloody Good press, bad press, whatever. There's no such thing as bad press, clearly. But yeah, I want to know your thoughts down below in the comments. Do you think $2,000 is great? Please, please enlighten me. And I won't come back at you in a nasty, naughty way if you do enlighten me. I'd genuinely like to know, do you think $2,000 is a good price for one night? Please let me know. Anyway, that was just my short little... I don't think I ranted. I don't think I did. I think I was on bloody point. Look how bald my face is. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this video, leave something new to my channel. I do this quite often. I'll be back again soon. Don't know when, don't know how. Anyway, thanks for watching. And bye.